speed control sometimes on certain things just, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that this thing is bad. I'm just saying that the cleanup process with all this stuff in here, you got to make sure you got an air compressor or something to get all this stuff out of here. That stuff is literally everywhere. Inside the box, this thing was packaged pretty well, you know, considering what it is and kind of what it has to go through for shipping. But it's got all this debris that's inside the box, and a couple of times when I was moving it, which just like every shipper is going to do, they're never going to keep a box what's called upright. So even if you've got arrows that are pointing up, no, just doesn't happen with a shipping company. They don't care, guy. This thing had a lot of like, I call it welding slag. I know it's not like true like welding slag, but it's very, very similar. It's like tiny little, like welding slag, guy. Maybe that's what it is. But it's like extra grinding material, or point blank, maybe it is just welding slag that was all over this bike. I got rudely cut off by the fact that the memory card was actually full, and that just goes to show you like how much content in reality I do create on various items. So, but getting back to this, it just literally has just that welding slag or whatever you want to call it all over the place. I still do have the protection on here, but one good thing I guess is everywhere on this bike it tells you caution, add oil. I mean, come on, it's on the seat, it was on the handlebars, it's literally down here. It talks about oiling the clutch, so you do need to do that. So I've got an air compressor out here and just kind of blow the thing off, making sure that there's nothing that can get inside the motor and potentially cause damage. We're going to add some oil and we're going to do a first fire up on the Orixy Earth mini bike from China. Everywhere, guy, everywhere. Especially in and around the oil fill. So obviously there's two, there's one in the back, one in the front, but I want to make sure like I was saying, this thing was tipped up and around, spun around, the whole everything. So I want to make sure that all that garbage is out of here. Look at it, see? Dude, stuff is everywhere, man. It's almost like you need a degreaser. So you can see no oil. But see, add 12 ounces of 10W30 motor oil. I gotta wait till that thing shuts off. Even just from taking that off, I'm not sure if you can see it, but even on that gasket that's trying to keep all the crap out of there, it's actually on the gasket. So we're gonna see if this thing's gonna work, man. But 12 ounces of regular 10W30 motor oil, and you just gotta make sure that you're not putting in you don't want to put in any of this kind of stuff. You don't want any kind of synthetic. Literally, that's all I've got right now. I think I do have 4-cycle. There we go. Look at that. SAE 30 weight 4-cycle small engine oil. And this is 20 fluid ounces. How am I going to figure that out? Hey, look at that. It's got a gauge on it. So I'll be able to figure out how much to put in there. All right. So we got a cleanup rag. We got some oil. Make sure you do not use this. Do not use anything that's a full synthetic or any kind of synthetic. You literally need the motor to break in. I'm actually not going to use this because this does say higher mileage engine. What I don't want is I don't want any kind of friction modifiers or anything like that. So what I am going to use is I'm just going to use this old SAE 30 conventional motor oil. I do have a ratio cup, so I can put in the exact amount of 12 ounces of fluid that they're asking to put into this crankcase. 12 ounces, which is right there at that slot. Stuff is old. All right, here we go. Just regular junk oil is what you're going to want. You want exactly 12 ounces, which is, that's 10, and that's 12. Bam, right there. Just conventional junk oil. That's all you want, man. I've got the bike positioned as kind of flat as I can. This is where you might want to have somebody help if you don't know what you're doing here. So take out the dipstick. I did clean off the gasket. I am going to use a funnel, and I will add the entire contents of this 12 ounces into that crankcase. Take a rag, stick a rag underneath just in case it starts to weep out, if it does, if you're not on a level surface. Whoa, and so you can catch the leak out. Weren't supposed to see that. It's all good, guy. It's good for the driveway. Good enough. Let that drain down in. Okay. So I'm just going to take that, wipe that a little bit. Take the little dipstick, put it back inside. And I'm going to see what the level looks like. Like I said, you have to check this on a level surface. So you want to see some fluid, just like this, down at the end. See that? Perfect. I have to see if I can get some fuel the unconventional way. I've already used all my fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fuel out of this. This is fresh fuel anyway. I usually run my, yeah, whatever. Usually run my, whatevers. So just take that. Hopefully, let's see if I can, I don't know if that's going to come off. Yeah, I got it, it's fine. All right, just going to use a tool to get in between the fuel line and this, and hopefully pull this off without spilling too much fuel. Here we go. All right, drain it out. It's going to be a little bit of a draining process here, so I'm just going to fill it up as much as I can, effectively draining this tank to fill that one. It's a slow process. All right, so we take that, kind of stuff it in there, and hopefully it doesn't flop down. Take this nice fresh fuel that we got here, and this takes minimum 87 octane. The fuel that I've got is 93. So might want to put some kind of a little bit of a lubrication on there, but here we go. Leaking all over me. Not sure how much fuel this thing takes, but I'm going to add more. Keep that capped. Add some more fuel here. And boom. Look at that, huh? Come on, guy. This is just the way it goes, man. Draining one fuel tank for another. I'm too lazy. I don't want to go to the gas station right now. I'll go to the gas station when I have to get more fuel, which I do want to stock up for fuel for my generator for the winter time, for that power loss that we usually get during the winter time. So another few more fluid ounces here. They're spitting at me. Gotta be getting close to the end here. That's a lot of fuel. Bring it up there. Good to go. Clean your fingers. And in the tank. I spilled a little bit. It's fine. Oh, getting fuel everywhere already. That's what the paper towels are for, guy. What do I do with the paper towels? I don't really want fuel everywhere. Do you want to keep this? Oh, look at that. It's already full. Wow. Basically full. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at about, I think I got to about 18-ish ounces. So 32 fluid ounces is what this holds, man. I think it's literally full. So about 32 ounces of fuel this thing takes. So we'll cap it off. And we're going to give it a first couple trigger pulls. But I do want to put that, yeah. I do want to put this fuel line back on. All right, so this is going to be the first couple of pulls. I don't think there's a primer bulb on here. So you can see fuel on off. So there's an on off for the fuel itself. So the fuel is supposedly on. And I thought there was a choke here somewhere. There we go. So there is a choke right there where you can see it says run start. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip that to start. What I'm gonna do first is just a couple of very light pulls, nothing to crank this thing, nothing to start it. So this is the run position, this is the off position. I'm gonna leave it in the off position just to kind of like circulate the oil, kind of get it going through the engine. Hopefully maybe the fuel will kind of like drain into the bowl. We'll see how that works. It's all gravity anyway, so we'll see how this works out. All right, so a couple little light pulls. Got some pretty good compression there. All right, so fuel is on, choke is on, bike is on. Here goes the real first pull of this bike. Is this thing gonna start? You gotta be kidding me. Wow, dude. First single pull. See how quiet that thing is. All right, wow, very surprised. Dude, that thing started in one stinking pull. All right, I want to grab some oil and lubricate that bushing. Don't want to go against the manufacturer's starting procedure, oiling procedure, all that stuff. So we're gonna add some oil to that chain. Also, we're gonna add oil to that bushing for the clutch. It does come with this bag of wrenches and stuff. These things are actually junk. So replace the wrenches that are in here with maybe something that's real. I wouldn't trust putting this thing together, but it did come with an oiler. So this oiler here, you got to snip off the top. I was just checking to see if it had anything, but unfortunately there's no cap. But you want to put some oil in there, just a 10W30, the same motor oil that we used. Or actually, you know what? This is where I'm gonna change it up a little bit. This isn't part of the motor. This is part of like a bushing area. So that's where I will grab some of this oil here. I'm gonna grab this right here. I don't need that part to break in, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with some oil. All right, so I'm gonna uncap this and just kind of use a little spout here. And let's throw some oil in here, just like that. And that's what's going to fill the thing here with a 10W, whatever is it, a 0W20 fully synthetic. So just a synthetic motor oil, and this is for the chain and or that bushing only. So I do have to snip off the top here. These are actual true blue Jaguar pliers. They came with Jaguar, and I didn't realize that there was a toolkit, and I just thought it was some dumb, I literally thought it was some just piece of garbage toolkit, and I ended up throwing it away. It had everything with it. And I guess that's something that's pretty hard to get. What did I do? I threw it all away. All right, so I'm gonna snip off the top of this bottle here, just like that. See if it squirts out. And a couple drops. All right, that's all we need to do. So inside of here is, basically it tells you right there, it says see the owner's manual to be able to do this. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to actually lubricate the clutch. You're looking to lubricate the actual bushing that's inside of here. So kind of really can't see in there. I mean, maybe you can see something, but you can see where the chain is, and you can see where the bushing is. And what you want to do is just drip a couple oil drips just onto that. And that is where the maintenance aspect of something comes in. There's another thing that you do need to check. I kind of came across this as a little bit of an issue. This is the adjustment for the tensioner. My tensioner is actually adjusted all the way out. I've loosened this, and the chain, it does have movement. You just want to keep in mind, you don't want too much slop. You want about a ½ an inch of movement on the chain. Now, I think break-in for the little wheel that's in there, I think there's a certain amount of like break-in, because right now it really feels tight. There is going to be a certain amount of chain stretch that does happen. I'm just going to leave it as is. What I do eventually want to do though is talk about chain maintenance, cleaning, and re-oiling the chain. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the RC Guy SKYRC GPS thing. That'll at least show speed. And for the first few runs, you don't want open throttle. You don't want to wide open throttle this thing. You just want to drive it. You want to warm it up nice and easy. Maybe let this thing idle for a little bit. That would probably be a very good thing. Maybe let the thing idle for like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something, just so that the engine gets nice and warm and things kind of get broken in. I mean, 5 minutes isn't going to be enough to break this thing in anyway, but just if you're thinking about longevity, with a unit like this, it is important to probably keep up on that maintenance, and that'll be good to teach a younger individual. I mean, I weigh 200 and something pounds, so I am maxing out probably everything about this bike. So it's a good test, right? The fact that that thing started on its first rip shocked me. So this is what happens, man. I did like literally the whole one pull thing and everything. It did take 2 pulls, only because I think the initial time I did like a pre kind of like pull, and what it did is it sucked fuel down into the carburetor or into the piston, got it kind of like primed up. But I'll show you right now. The thing is literally all warmed up. It's a shame, but look at how easy this is to pull. Ready? Watch this. Dude, it takes absolutely nothing to pull. So this thing is warmed up right now. Hopefully this thing is doing the GPS thing. I'm just going to take it out for a quick little spin. I'm not going to open it up. That's not what this is about. It's literally just to get this thing motoring or moving. It's not about full trigger at all. So let's put the mount on my helmet here, and then we'll figure this out. I could actually hear the clutch trying to engage. So the idle is like right on that cusp. All right, so I got to put this thing on here so I can put the head mount on. Can you hear it? Thing's ready to go. Yeah, I'm not done with the glasses. Oh. Dude, can I do this with glasses? Oh crap. That was something I didn't think about. Oh, okay. I got the glasses on. You can hear it. Oh, dude, totally. Again, I'm not going to be going nuts. It's just the motor of this thing. Basically just idling, dude. That's kind of what you want. You want your first couple of runs to literally just be about idle and moving. Oh, that vibration, dude. Oh, this is so crazy. This could definitely use some front suspension, I'll tell you that, dude! My face is jiggling here. Oh my god! Oh, that was cool. take my glasses off here. Dude, that was actually cool, man. The whole, I'll tell you right now, there is a little bit of a difference. Let me shut this off. There's a certain kind of like, feel. There's just a certain kind of something when it comes to something like this, dude. Let me change the perspective. There's a certain kind of fun that you get. There's a certain kind of fun that you get with a mini bike. Dude, my face is hurting from smiling. It brings back like memories, man. The whole like shake or jolt of a single cylinder, rigid frame experience that you don't get anywhere else. It's got that new, freshly burned run-in smell. It does say after and before every use to oil that bushing. That's important. I am going to go ahead and throw some chain lube on there. But that's also where I wanted to talk about certain technologies that have changed from way back when I was young. There's different types of stuff, chain lubes, dry chain lubes, stuff that you want to use so it doesn't cause stuff to adhere. You basically just want that lubrication to be in the rollers. So if you go ahead and do chain maintenance, which this thing is definitely going to need, and obviously hopefully the GPS thing worked. I don't even know if it did or not. It's not about, you know, wide open speed. You gotta literally just let the thing kind of get motoring and kind of semi-idle with a little bit of throttle under it. And once you get moving, I was really surprised. This thing just pushed 200 plus pounds, dude. And when I say 200 plus pounds, I'm not 250, but I'm stinking pretty close, guy. Not really. I mean, I guess I am. I'm closer probably to 250 than I am to the actual 200. That's not where I want to be, but the thing pushed me no problem, man. It touted my weight, no problem. So anyways, RC Guy Garage, I have got just a different kind of smile on my face, man. Yeah, guy. If you gotta get a kid a mini bike and you haven't got a lot of money to spend, if you're not buying it on the marketplace or something used, this thing right here just might be the ticket, dude. This might be the ticket. This thing so far has got an RC Guy Garage thumbs up, man. I'm having a blast, dude. I am totally gonna have a blast with this thing. Yeah, dude. Totally different smile experience. Not telling you to get your kids a mini bike, but I am, because if you don't, the experience that I just had, and maybe even the experience that you had when you were a kid, you've got to give it to your kids, man. My kids had a different kind of experience. My kids had quads. They never ran a mini bike. Isn't that funny? Here I am talking about experience and how you got to like let your kids experience different things, and I'm telling you like, dude, you got to get kids a mini bike. Get them a mini bike at the price this thing's coming in at. I mean, granted, this is only a first trial thing. There are things about this thing that are not perfect, but there's also things about this that are really well done for, I guess, the price, for the cost, for what you're getting. Don't use the tools that they have in the package. The tools in the package are complete garbage. Will it assemble the bike? Yes, it will, but it will not torque things down. And that's going to kind of be important. You want to make sure you torque things down. I'll do another video that will basically talk about the couple of items that when you're getting something like this, you know, come on, guy, you're getting something like this, not everything is going to be perfect. You know, there's little tiny things. Dude, I just don't care. I'm just going to be out here ripping it up, having a blast. I'm going to get my daughter on this thing. I'm going to get her on this thing on a better day. Once we get some sun and maybe hopefully a little bit of warmth, get her out here and see if we can get some smiles out of her. So I will say, man, the glasses kind of almost ruin the experience, man. That single cylinder vibration. This thing needs some suspension. These things will... Dude, see that smile? Hear that laugh? It's genuine. Dude, that's what I'm about. Being genuine and trying to provide smiles. What about you?